The way I see it is I believe the Mountain West is going to send 5 teams to the NCAA tournament, not 6 unless. Okay, here's my caveat. I think it's 5. I think New Mexico has real work to do, and I don't see them doing it. They lost. They had a golden opportunity, Brent. They lost to Air Force at home. I'm sorry. That changed a lot. They were in the driver's seat. They lost to Air Force at home. This is whenever it was, a week or 10 days ago. And since then, they went to Boise with a chance on Saturday to make something, to get it back. They lost the game by 10. They still have Fresno at home. They have to win it. That's not going to help their resume. And then they finish at Utah State. Are they going to beat Utah State in Logan on senior night? And if they don't, how can you go to the NCAA tournament losing to Air Force? Your last 3 or 4 games, you're losing to Air Force, at Boise, at Utah State. It's not enough. You're going to have to make something of your resume. And I think New Mexico had it. It was there for the taking, but I think they're going to be passed unless they pick up a win over Utah State in their regular season finale. Now, could they win a couple of games in the Mountain West tournament on a neutral floor without winning the Mountain West tournament championship and get in as net large? Maybe. But I think their most realistic path is beating Utah State and Logan. And based on what I'm seeing from New Mexico right now, and specifically on the road, I'd be surprised. I hope I'm wrong, because if New Mexico beats Utah State and San Diego State wins out, the Aztecs will get at least a share of the regular season title in the Mountain West. So that's why I see it as 5. I just don't see New Mexico. I think New Mexico had it there, but I just know how this works. And with bid stealers and with teams from power leagues, there's a very good chance that New Mexico is, quote unquote, leapfrogged or passed, would be my guess. Now, is there a path for 6 teams to the NCAA tournament? The answer is yes. Here's how. So I think you have 5 locks or near locks by the time the regular season is over. San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, Nevada, Utah State. And you could argue the merits of the resumes. I think San Diego State is the best, but you could argue the merits. I think 5 will find their way. Now, how do you get to 6? New Mexico wins the Mountain West tournament or UNLV wins the Mountain West tournament. That's how you get to 6. Because I don't think if New Mexico wins the tournament, they're kicking out Nevada. Nevada's played really good basketball. Utah State, they're going. Boise State, they've been great. They've won 5 straight. San Diego State, their resume is super clean, and their candidacy is fully secure. So I think 5, by the time we get to Vegas, not this week, but next week for the Mountain West tournament, I think 5 teams are going to have really strong resumes where they're basically in the tournament. If not fully locked, pretty close to fully locked. And then you could get a 6th, because I think New Mexico on a neutral floor could win 4 games in 4 days, which is something that they may have to do. That's not going to be easy, obviously, especially with the way that they're playing. But UNLV, winners of 9 of 10. We talk about them playing on their home floor in the Mountain West tournament all the time. They rarely take advantage. It's been a decade since they've been in the Mountain West semifinal, but is this their year? And if UNLV wins 3-3, or if New Mexico wins 3-3 or 4-4, that's the path to 6 for me, unless New Mexico goes to Logan and beats Utah State, which, again, have crazier things happen. Yeah. I mean, New Mexico's roster is one of the better rosters you could argue in the Mountain West. At their best, they've been among the best. Not just the Mountain West. They've been one of the better teams in the country at their best, but they're not playing at their best for whatever reason right now. They weren't playing at their best down the stretch in 2023. So they are feeling the pressure. They are the team with the most to lose, in my opinion. The other teams, it's not that it's house money, but you've got a lot to play for. You're not just thinking about the Mountain West regular season, and you're not only thinking about the Mountain West tournament, but you're thinking about Selection Sunday. New Mexico has to get to Selection Sunday. How? With wins. And same thing with UNLV. Now, I think UNLV, no pun intended with them being in Vegas, but it's some house money because they were never going as net large team to the NCAA tournament. They've lost to Southern this year. They lost to Air Force by 32 at home. They've had heartbreaking losses. Somehow, though, to their credit, they've flipped their season on their head. Like they just have. They've won 9 of 10. It's the only time in UNLV history that they've won 9 of 10 games in the Mountain West. UNLV, in the 25-year history of the Mountain West, has never gone 9-1 in a 10-game stretch in the league, and they have right now. And we had Mike Grimala on earlier from Vegas, who covers UNLV, and he said, they recognize the importance of tomorrow night against San Diego State, right? They see it as a huge opportunity. I'm sure the Aztecs see it the same way. Aztecs have not played in a week. They could use that rest. So we'll see what they look like on the other side of it. For the Aztecs, it's an interesting stretch here because you've had a week. You get UNLV tomorrow at 8 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. Then senior night Friday, quick turnaround, and then another handful of days off before the Mountain West tournament. Now, everything is still a possibility for the Aztecs. You could be the 1 seed. I said this earlier. You could be the 1 seed in the Mountain West tournament. You could be the 6 seed. All of that variance is possible. Shoot, the Aztecs could still be, like, consider this. They could be a 5 or a 6 seed in the Mountain West tournament and a 3 or a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. Isn't that crazy? That's still possible. So it'll all play out. I mean, we're days away from the end of the regular season. I can't believe that. But tomorrow is the second to last regular season game. Friday is senior night, last regular season game, and then the Mountain West tournament. So, again, the biggest week of the season. I don't think I'm overstating it at all. For San Diego State, for most of college basketball, this is the biggest week of the season.